just a bloke in a bar.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of The Locker Room. I'm here with the man himself, Shaun Kenny-Dowall.
What's up, brother?
What's going on?
Not much, man.
How's the mate? You got a knee surgery, but you're in the off season. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's been a pretty tough one actually. It's not the ideal way to spend your off season. You want to be at the beach and traveling somewhere, but I've had a little clean out on my knee, and so I'm in the process also of like moving city and moving town. So I've also had to pack up my house and
moving countries.
Yeah, I know, it's
fucking
pretty full
torture.
on, so I know I'm trying to look after the knee while packing. It's pretty hard at the moment, but nonetheless, it's good to have some time off and away from footy, which is good.
At least you got a fucking excuse for the missus.
I can't babe, give me the feed, please. A sandwich or a drink, please. Come on. I'm using it pretty wisely as well all the time, bro.
I'm not even into not use it. I got injuries from my career. So like, how's it been mentally? You had such a long career. Like, what? It's 12 years.
12 years, yeah.
12 years in the
13,
NRL.
Yeah, 13. I think, yeah.
Because you would have been in the system as well before 2007.
Yeah. Nah, it's been wicked, man. Like it's always an emotional roller coaster, bro. That's the rugby league, but
100%.
You never know. You all the good times and the bad times, but this last little period's been really good to. Know that my time in the NRL's coming to an end, so I've done a lot of like reflection, which has been a bit of a spin out, looking back on my career and what I've achieved, and there's a great sense of pride there, and it's been unreal just to go back and like have a few farewells and people coming up and showing their appreciation for your career, and you really realize, you go, man, you actually you've done well, man.
Yeah,
like,
it's done.
You look back and you go, yeah, it's done. Like the time in the NRL's done, and in saying that, I'm really excited about the next part of my career as well. It's not over yet. The old dog's still going around again.
Do you ever do you remember yourself as that young kid that rocked up to preseason? Not scared, but like intimidated. These big dogs are all here, and you don't want to disrespect anyone, and you just want an opportunity. And you're an international. You've played 12 years. Is that something that you kind of look back and go, far out, man? It's crazy how far I've come, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's huge. I remember like rocking up to the Roosters. I think I was like 16. We're rocking out in the gym, and you're just looking out, and I think it was like ES Marks and Kensington there.
Yep.
I walk through the gym where we're all training, like we're in the under 16s, and you look out and there's like Menicello, like Fitzgibbon, Adrian Morley, Brad Fittler.
Yep.
These are kids that you watch on TV and just go, far out, man, how cool is this? Like, I come from New Zealand, and you rock up and you're at this gym, and there's all these big dogs just training hard, just chilling, and go, hey, what's up?
Yeah,
man?
what's up? They were on TV a week ago.
But they're all in there training like in the same gym. So that was even before I was signed with the Roosters. Was just like we were just training in the gym, and they would just happen to be in the same place at the same time. It was pretty bit of a spin out.
Man, it's just like, it's crazy how you can go from just a kid that loves footy to this in professional system, and then there's this huge world just sitting there for you to kind of like establish yourself in.
Yeah, I know. It's you got to earn. That's pretty cool. Like coming through the grades, I thought, like you said before, you want to take the most of your opportunity, but you want to work hard and like earn everyone's respect. And, show that you belong. It's like, man, back those days, the older boys were pretty ruthless. And it was like, bro, if you don't, different times. It's like, man, you got to earn your place in this team. And
you basically, what prompted the decision to move on from the Knights, kind of thing?
Oh man, it was pretty tough. Like, a really tough decision. Obviously, been there for 2.5 years at the Knights, and they were really good to me. And we've been on a bit of a journey where we were headed up the table, and
because you were there, when they were really struggling.
It was good. We obviously missed out on the 8 this year, which was really disappointing. But I really do feel that the club's come a long way, and it's only going to keep progressing forward. So, but unfortunately, it was at that point in my career. I'm getting older now, and I had an opportunity to go overseas, and it was either a 1-year deal or a 2-year deal overseas with pretty decent money and opportunity to test yourself in the Super League, man, which I've always wanted to do. And I just really want to get out of my comfort zone and into a new experience overseas, and see what it's all about over there. So I made my decision. It was a really hard one, and but I'm very comfortable with my decision, and I'm very thankful for the Knights, for the last 2.5 years, which has been an awesome journey for me.
It's interesting with the Knights because like people were disappointed this year they didn't make the 8, but people obviously you aren't going to rest on the fact, okay, well, we've progressed, but the fact that we're even talking about you know, maybe making the 8 or even being disappointed about not making the 8. Fucking 24 months ago, it wasn't even in a conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't even a
huge.
fucking...
Well, and it's been awesome to see, like, be a part of the whole club, and, you know, watching all the young boys that went through all these, like, tough years of, like, mate, it doesn't get much tougher, you know. They come
100%.
into first grade before their time, but, you know, to see them develop as people and, you know, go to the next level in their careers and perform, you know, consistently. And, you know, we went on the run and we won 6 in a row, and it was really good for them to, you know, see that they have what it takes to, you know, really be a force in the NRL and match it with the, you know, the most successful team. So, you know, I think, you know, we're going to see the best out of those boys in the next, you know, 2 or 3, 4 years, where they're really going to, you know, make a charge for the top of the NRL.
They've got a good foundation there, like a lot of experience in that to go on and do great things over a long period of time because they're so young.
Yeah, well, that's it. They've had these, like, bad experiences, but now they also know now that they do have what it takes to be successful, and that's the building blocks to do that consistently, week in, week out, year all year. Like, you know, it's all there for them, man. They just need to, you know, make the most of it.
100%. And you've got the squad. You had the squad, especially this year. You have the squad to build with now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Like, you know, use that last year as it's a, you know, a tough lesson to learn. We wanted to be in the 8 and you know, play finals, but, you know, they can grow and learn from that again, and, you know, hopefully go to the next level next season.
Yeah. I need to get a new chair. That's
me, bro. I'm like,
no, it's fucking just a shit chair. As I said, like, I just moved in. I fucking need to fix everything. Like, you know, there's so much work ahead. Oh my god, that's the worst thing about moving is, like, you move while you're working. You know what I mean? It's not like you take a week off to move. Like, you still got to work, so it's, like, hard to find.
That's what I'm doing in the moment, bro. I've still got to, like, do rehab and, like, do physio and, like, pack boxes, and it's torture, man.
Especially with a fuck knee. That's fucking tough, bro.
Yeah,
fuck. And you're moving fucking countries.
Yeah,
holy shit.
Crazy.
So you take us back to a young Shaun. So you're born in New Zealand?
I was actually born in Brisbane.
Brizzy?
Yeah, Brizzy,
Brizzy boy.
Yeah, Brizzy boy.
Fucking, I thought you were born in New Zealand.
No, I was born in Brisbane.
Woodridge.
Yeah, Woodridge.
Fucking
yeah,
Woodridge.
It's crazy, eh?
Bro, I had an ex-missus about 20 ex-missus ago. She was Latin, but she was born in El Salvador, lives in Woodridge. So that's how I know Woodridge.
Well, I didn't even know where Woodridge is, eh?
Oh, really? Because you were just born in there?
I was just born there.
Oh, okay.
But I think I think we used to live in Balimba. Like, back in, that's what my parents always used to say.
Oh, so you moved to Auckland as a 3-year-old.
Yeah, 3-year-old, moved over there. You know, I think my parents moved over when my mum was pregnant from New Zealand to Australia for, you know, work and stuff. And they decided they want to move back after 3 years. So, you know, I was brought up in New Zealand, and it was a bit of a you know, moved over when I was, you know, 3 years age, and so I had spent majority of my time growing up in New Zealand.
In Auckland.
Yeah, Auckland. But it was like, man, it was interesting, like, because I could have pulled the old, you know, Australian card and, like, come play for Origin, and
really
had those opportunities too. You know, where I was like midway through my career, and I got chosen. I was playing, like, junior Origin. I think we probably played you, the big puncher on the brawl.
Oh, were you in that game?
I was in that game, man. Yeah, I was playing for New South Wales.
Holy shit, man!
Yeah, that huge one. I think I was punching on with Izzy Folau at the time. But
really?
I was like, man, but, like, it was at the point where, you know, I could go down that pathway and play Origin, or I was going to get chosen for the junior Kiwis. And you know, growing up in New Zealand, and, you know, having proud New Zealand heritage and history, it was like, man, it was a pretty easy decision for me to, you know, choose the black and white. It's what my dad represented New Zealand in the Paralympics, so that, you know, it's a pretty proud family, man. So I couldn't, you know, turn my back on my country.
That's crazy. You were in that, man. There
that was hectic.
Bro, that was
a big
crazy.
game.
I didn't even fucking, like, I didn't appreciate how crazy it was when it happened.
I know.
For us, it was just like, back in those days, it was like, if there wasn't a fight in Origin, it was a bit weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm not even I can't even fight, so I don't even know what the fuck I was doing, bro.
I was just throwing haymakers.
100%. I was just like,
if you don't throw, you're like,
if you don't throw, you're a cat.
Do
Yeah, 100%.
But it was big. That was, man, it went for a couple of minutes.
Bro, 100. That was a big blue. Like, the amount of people that say, like, bro, remember that fucking scrap, bro. And I was just like, I think it's so fucking cool to be a part of. Like, to be a part of that cool.
It's crazy, man. The year before, I played for the under-17s.
Yeah.
And, man, there was a similar thing. But it was, like, huge all-in brawl as well. And it was like, it was just what you did in Origin back then.
Especially as a young kid, like,
you watched Origin. Yeah, like, you just got to wait. You got to wait for the punch-ons. It's all changed now. Hey, one hit, you're gone.
One hit, you got one fucking slap now. You're gone.
Open hand.
Open hand, you're gone. Fucking hell. So, and that's at a different time too, because New Zealand at that stage, you didn't actually get paid anywhere near what Australia got paid when it came to the like match payments and that? So the decision was purely on love for the country, really?
Yeah, love for the country. Growing up there, being proud, of my heritage and, my family. All my family lived in New Zealand. My grandparents and both my parents were New Zealand citizens, and it was a no-brainer, really. But in saying that, I was very grateful to Australia for those opportunities and those. I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for the pathways that
absolutely
they give us. From New Zealand, it's it's pretty phenomenal.
It's I think like we get caught up in the rivalry too much, where you can love both countries. You know what I mean? Like I was in New Zealand for a year. So it's just 1 year. No heritage there, nothing. But I still have an affection for the country, you know what I mean? I still have an affection for the people of the country, the indigenous culture that I got to experience over there. So I feel like sometimes like you can be like,
brothers in arms. It's a bit like that anyway. We're like little brother, little sister. Little sister. Little brother. Australia's the sister. Nah, it's like, we're two countries isolated from the world, and I think, we can travel back and forth with no visa, and we have this fierce rivalry, but, I think we're very similar in our beliefs and our culture. And
well, it kind of was instilled for me personally, because both my parents, grandparents were in the war, and like the Anzacs, like they went to war together, and so that was always instilled in me. Like, there's a rivalry, but at the end of the day, it's us against the world kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But okay, so growing up, so you moved to Auckland, and so like, what was it like growing up for you? That you played for the East Coast Bay Barracudas?
Yeah, it was unreal, man. Like I started playing footy when I was like 4 years of age. I was a pretty naughty kid. My mum tells me I don't full of energy. But
was it a single mum?
Nah, my parents were together at that point in time, and we lived in Auckland, and man, it was just all about sports at that age. Like I slept in my boots, and I just couldn't wait to play footy.
Just loved it.
Every started at 4 years of age, and I think that's when the passion for the game really started, and at such a young age. And I played. Lived in Auckland and played like all throughout, until I was like 10 years of age. So played for the Barracudas, and mate, it was pretty cool. We used to travel all around Auckland and play all the
other sides.
The other sides. Polynesia, big top. Man, we were like 6 and 7 year old kids against it was it was full on. It was tough league, and we had a pretty good coach at that time, and he really taught us the basic fundamentals about rugby league and growing up, and what it takes to be successful. And I think that really set the foundations for
everything else.
Everything else just sort of followed through.
So when did you start? So you played, you said, till you were 10?
Yeah.
And then
I moved town, moved to Waikato and like Hamilton down there, and I ended up playing rugby for
really?
A couple, because the league competition wasn't that big down there. So we moved for Dad's work, and so we started playing union and sort of went down that path a little bit there. And
was that ever a possibility?
Yeah, I was playing rep teams and that when I was in my early teens, and I really enjoyed it. But then I was at high school, and then one of the boys goes, "Bro, come for a game of league." We were short on numbers, like come for a run. I was like, yeah, sweet, let's do it. And then, man, my love for league just like reignited, and I ended up played one game and like ended up making this Waikato team where we went and played Auckland like the week after.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I played one game, and then that was it, bro. I was just like, man, league. I want to go back to league and really, see where it takes me.
And so it just basically that one game, you were just like, fuck, I love this game. Like,
I played it growing up, and I sort of went away from it, and then my mate like asking me to come for a run just reignited. I made the Waikato team, and then. I think the next year just enrolled in the local team, and just kept going from there.
And so you, at what age were you, about 16 then?
Nah, man, I was probably like 13.
Oh, okay.
13, but it was pretty cool, man. We had this guy, he run the like local tyre shop, and he was like, he wanted to start this team, like get all the good players from the area, and man, he used to pay us if we won. So we were on this, we were like 13, and he goes, man,
what, $50 something?
Yeah, $50, but if you win, it's 100. And we were like, man, it was unreal. So like, he tried to. That was another thing that was really cool to like, experience that at such a young age. So we had all the boys from
bro, $100 at 13,
huge, bro.
That's
it was like,
huge.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
And
at that age too, it was like, man, something to play for.
And it's funny, like, you don't know what his motives was. Maybe he just loved footy or whatever.
He loved coaching, like, just trying to
give these kids
an opportunity to, you know, make sure they make the best of, you know, what they have and really try to develop them and show them that rugby league can really, you know, provide for you if you take it seriously. And he sort of tried to create that like professional environment as well.
So because like I was going to say, there are some areas around Hamilton that are pretty rough. Like kids can get
I sort of lived a bit out. It's called, you know, went to school in Ngātawaia, and it was like a real full-on league town. And there was like two teams, like Tūrangawaewae and the Panthers. It was like a battle of the bridge kind of thing. It was full-on.
So he just wanted to show kids like, don't go down the wrong paths.
Don't go, like it was, there's, you know, it's a pretty rugged area if you, you know.
I was going to say.
Like, you know, if you go down the wrong path,
100%.
You've got to make the right choices. And but, you know, he really wanted to like look after the youth and make sure they were making the most of, you know, their childhood and trying to invest and putting them in the right areas, which was cool at that point.
It's like, you know, this unsung hero. Like, you know, if he didn't do that, you know, would you have a career? You don't know. How many kids got kept off the street because they played footy each weekend instead of, you know, doing
it was pretty cool. Yeah, it was really, and it really brought, you know, that group together as well. We really loved coming to training and playing for $100 every week. You know, we got to get the winner. And, you know, we went to the grand final.
That could be $400 a month.
Yeah, I know. It was awesome.
He must have been cashed up.
Yeah, and then it was even more if he got player of the day. So it was like, oh man, you got to go good. You got to get a good game in.
Fucking hell, how good is that? So what point did you start to realise, you know, did you make the New Zealand side?
Sort of evolved. I sort of kept playing league for the next 2 years, and we sort of made like the national junior comp in New Zealand.
Yep.
The rep team was called Waikato Bay, and you know, we had a really good team, a really good bunch of boys all from the Waikato area, and my dad was the coach, and man, we used to travel around New Zealand and, you know, play Auckland and Christchurch, and so it was like, man, even that was like the first step into you know, the rep kind of stuff, and that was when I really, you know, believed that I could, you know, make something of myself. And, you know, we did pretty good for a little town. We played all, you know, the big teams, and, you know, we won a few big games and a few tournaments, and, you know, that was unheard of from a little team from Waikato. But, you know, that really bred my love again and really made me chase, you know, want to succeed in rugby league.
Yep. And so I guess that also like showed you that you can match it with the best of the best in the country.
Yeah, well, that's it. Like we were playing, you know, heaps of boys that were signed for the Warriors, and you know, they were big boys, but, you know, we had a really good team as well, and we were very competitive. You know, we didn't win versus them, but, you know, we won a couple of games against them, and we go, man, there's not many Waikato teams that
can do that.
You know, beat counties and Auckland, you know, so it was a big achievement for us to, you know, come this far, but then it was also a good realization far, bro. You know, and there was a few of the boys, you know, and we come from that team, and when I decided to make the move from Australia, there was like two boys that come over with me, and
really,
like from that team, they wanted they wanted to give it a crack as well, to try and, you know, we wanted to take it seriously and give it a crack to make it.
So did you, when you moved over back to Australia, was that because the Roosters, or you just
it was like, it was a pretty crazy story. It was like, what was that? I was going to the Warriors. Out of that national junior comp, they sort of said, you know, we want you to come up for like a month's trial in the Warriors development squad.
Yep.
So I was traveling like back and forth from Waikato, you know, it was like hour and a half drive each way, twice a week. Yeah, so it was full on, but I was like, bro, this is it, you know. This is my opportunity to, you know, get a contract or, you know, start my development for the Warriors. And I was doing that like 2 times a week, and for a month, and they sort of cut me from there.
Fuck.
And that was
they give you a reason, or
they just said, man, we don't think you're, you know, in the top echelon of players in your position at this point in time, and we're going to let you go. And, you know, that was really heartbreaking, but that's when I was like, all right, bro, I've got to take this in my own hands. And that's when we decided that I was going to quit school at like 15.
What?
I quit school, man, and got a job to save up for a one-way ticket to Australia.
No way.
So that was a big move, bro.
So what were you doing for a job?
Mate, I was working in construction at one point, just a labourer.
Scaffolder?
Nah, not
bro,
scaffolder.
So many Kiwis are scaffolders, bro.
Nah, it was cracking. Like, mate, but it was cool, mate. Like, you know, it was a big thing for my family to let me finish school at 15. But, you know, they had the view, if that's what you want to do. You know, I was not doing very well in school. Like, I was always excelling at sport, but, you know, I was pretty naughty at school and whatnot. And they said, all right, if that's what you want to do, then let's make it happen. And then they sort of allowed me to finish school and get a job. And
So how long did it take you to save up? You would have been
it was
on
like 6 months. Yeah, like 6 months.
How much
were
you earn an
I
hour?
think it was like $13, $14 an hour back then.
Torture.
But it was still pretty good, you know.
Yeah.
Like for 15-year-old, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Mate, it was wicked. I was driving too. Like I used to drive to work in our like family car, like 40 minutes. Yeah, it was like 15-year-old going to work. It was full on.
So you
But
just
it was
like
cool,
straight into the work life, had no license, but was driving.
just driving to work. It was pretty silly. I
Imagine
look back
seeing
on it now, but
15-year-old driving a car to work.
I know. We'll rock up at a construction site too, where it was just like far. Man, it was.
That's
like,
a
look
wild
back on
west.
it, you just go, "Whoa, bro, that was pretty crazy." Eh? But,
Okay, so you just like I'm getting a job, I'm saving up. I'm
yeah,
getting
saving
one
up,
more
and
ticket.
then the two other boys from my team that they did the same thing, and
Yep.
we all tried to save up enough money, and my old man said that he was gonna come over initially and like help us all get set up,
Yep.
and so he sort of saved as well. We all come from like we didn't have much money like as a family, so that's why I had to pay my own way and learn how to save and work hard. And
Because we didn't have much money growing up, but in saying that, compared to like a ticket from New Zealand to Australia is like $300.
yeah, $300 back then. So, but also had to have like living expenses and like a bond to.
Yeah.
So it was like, man, I went from 15 like straight into an adult life, bro, where you got to pay bills and like accommodation. And
do you remember the day when you had enough to buy the ticket and go?
yeah, man, it was unreal. It was like, man, it's really happening. Like we were literally rocked up to the airport. Like we had nowhere to stay. We had no accommodation booked, and we just rocked up to the airport. Like there were 4 of us, and with a dream. And that's how we got there. But we got to the airport. There's like a backpackers board, and they go, "Wait, we knew we were playing in Clow Valley, which is like in the eastern suburbs of Australia." We go, I know Coogie's close, so we ended up like booking this free shuttle from the airport to Coogee Backpackers, and it was just like, holy man.
So you living
we
in
had
a
no idea.
backpackers.
We got to the airport, like, man, where do we go? And then we went to this like information like center, and they go, we know Coogie's close to Clow Valley, so there's a free shuttle to the backpacker. Let's go there. And that was it, man. We rocked up, and we couldn't believe our eyes when we got down to like Coogee.
How
and we just
beautiful
like,
it is,
like, whoa, look at this place, man.
Yeah,
It's like completely different. Like, from a little town in New Zealand to the big shores of the eastern suburbs.
Basically like a
pretty
country
huge.
town to a beautiful, rich area, pretty much.
Yeah, no, it was a bit of an eye opener.
Far out. And so this is before the internet too, so it's not like you can just like look up. Okay.
Oh, we used to go buy the paper. It was like, man, you had to go because we had a job organised where we worked at Hungry Jack's. Like first thing, like all 3 of us boys, we had a job. And, man, it was something like $7 an hour, or just ridiculous. But I only stayed there for like 2 weeks, and I got another job. But yeah, that was in the times you had to.
So you rocked up to Coogee. You're staying in a hostel or a backpacker.
Yeah.
And it was just 4 years. And how long did you stay there for?
Mate, it would have been probably 2 months, a good 2 months. Like, we had a job lined up at Hungry Jack's straight away. And as soon as we got there, we were going down to get the paper every morning and just looking at our next step ahead, trying to get a better job with more money, and also looking for a house where we could just go bang.
Yep.
And it got to a point, it was pretty sticky, we were like, man, if we don't get a house within the next like week or 2, we're going to have to go home.
Oh, wow.
And so we all went down to the supermarket one morning, and there's like a notice board, and there was like this little pamphlet that just got put up. It was like a 3-bedroom home in Coogee, and he just put it up, so we just ripped the whole thing off. We're like, man, we've got to, we've got to do it.
Yeah,
and then, man, it was so we were lucky. We got the house, and we moved in like 200 meters up from Coogee Beach, and it was that was where we sort of set our base up for the next like 5 or 6 years. It was pretty cool. It was a good
5 or
place
6
to
years.
live.
Far out. Okay, so you're going through all this, and are you just playing for a local side then? You just rocked up?
Yeah, so we had organised. We had a friend that lived in out St Mary's, and he'd organised for us to play for the Clow Valley Crocodiles. I think it was like under 17s or under 18s at the time.
Yep.
And we were walking there. We used to run. We're like, that's our training. We've got to run from Coogee to Clow Valley. They used to train up at Burrows Park.
Yep.
And so we were just playing in there, man. And we just enrolled in the local team. And then that's when I saw the guys in the gym that I was telling you about before, because like Clow Valley's a Roosters junior club.
Yeah.
And they said, 2 times a week that the under-18s team could go into the gym and train. And so,
mate,
we were going. That's where we were going to train, like 2
really?
times a week, and started playing the games.
So, did you know that they were connected to the Roosters at all before you got there?
No idea, right? Like, we didn't even know that was like a Rooster. It just happened to be that fell into that area. We played in the South Sydney comp, and then just who never would have thought, the next
step
10 years,
yeah.
man, that's where I ended up. I sort of just landed on the shores of Australia.
Oh, right. So, okay, so you started playing. So you started playing for the Clovelly. What were they called again?
Crocodiles.
Crocodiles.
Crocs. Yeah.
And so you just started playing footy. At what point did you start to get a bit of interest from the Roosters? Or
mate, it was like, I think the three boys that come over, we sort of made a big difference for that team, and they weren't doing very well in the South Sydney comp, and then. I think someone from the club caught wind of, there's these 3 boys from New Zealand. They're doing all right. And then, we had a manager. He first came down and he watched us play, and then it was unreal. We had a real good game. Scored like 3 tries.
Really, man.
And then the manager guy came up after. He goes, "Man, I want to help you out and try and find you a club." And part of us going to the Roosters gym, like they had the under-18s, like SG Balls coaches in there, like taking the weight sessions and that.
Okay,
so
they could kind of see.
Yeah, so that's where we got a bit of exposure. We got to know them, and they're like, "Man, we want you to come down and trial out for the Roosters."
Bro, that's fucking mental.
Yeah, it's mental. But it's a funny story actually. Like before all that, I met the manager, and I signed a deal with Penrith, 2-year deal, and like went out there and
What?
Like, yeah, it's crazy. So I was
before
gonna go,
you met the manager, Penrith had approached you?
No, like I've got the manager, and he's sort of, I've got this kid, like he's really good, and we want you to go out to, Penrith and go to school at like St. Greg's out there, and I went out to the school and like went out to the Panthers and had a look around, and I was pretty much signed. I was going to move away from my family, and my family had moved over by then, my old man and my old lady, and I was going to move away from them and live out in Penrith and play for the Panthers. And then I stopped going to the Roosters gym because I felt bad that I'd signed for the Panthers.
Oh, really?
For the Panthers. I was like, man, I don't know why. But and then they sort of said, where's like that kid gone? We were really interested in, signing him for the upcoming like SG Ball season. Ended up getting out on like compassionate grounds because my family lived in Coogee, and I wanted to stay with them and play for the Roosters. So.
And you're so young at that stage.
You're so young.
Not even
so
in the first grade system yet.
No, not even. So it was really like, but I was still, by that time I had a full-time job and I was working, but, it was just heaps easier to have that family support.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
It was a big move then.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's pretty interesting. It could have gone like
all
a complete,
little
things, man. It's like destiny and fate, just boom. Like, here you
Score
go.
3 tries Score 3 tries and the manager rocks up. You land in Coogee. Oh my god!
Yeah, I know, it's full on. But looking back on it now, you just go, man. But like, if you don't take these steps, man, none of this happens. So it's like it's a good lesson. Like, man, if you want to go somewhere, if you got to put in the work and put yourself in these positions, or nothing's going to come. It's
absolutely.
Like, man,
it's something my dad always used to say to me. He said, just keep turning up.
Yeah, that's
just turn up.
100%.
Just turn up. Like, there's people that might turn up, 6 days out of 7, and they might be fantastic on the 6th day. On the 7th day, you could be average every day, but if you're there and at the right time, you're
like
there.
The harder you work, the luckier you get.
Yeah,
absolutely,
like, absolutely, man. And you're a perfect. I mean, that is insane. Okay, so you sign a contract with them. What, just a 1 year, 2 year, or?
I think it was 2 years at that time because I was I could still play SG ball for 2 years, and man, signed a 2-year deal and started training, and I had a full-time job, and I was like working all day and then training in the afternoon.
What were you doing for work?
Well, I was installing shutters by then, like aluminium shutters.
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty cool, man. I got to like stay on the tools and ended up being like a foreman of this big factory for by the time I finished up, and I'd worked so hard and been at that place for 2 years, and I was going out to sites and installing the shutters and making them up from scratch. It was pretty, it was really good, but it was good to have a boss too that allowed you to pick and go, finish early when you need to, or you're sore, you got an injury. He was very flexible in that respect, so I was pretty lucky there.
So you sign, you train. At what point did they start talking about coming into the first grade squad?
Mate, it would have been I think it was the second year of the SG ball team. Mate, I played SG ball, and then I didn't. I think I played one game, and then I went straight up into the 20s. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah. So like I had 1 year of SG ball, and then the next year I had one game, and then went into the 20s, and then played 20s. Went through all the finals, and then we got knocked out, and reserve grade was going. And so the next year, man, like I played in the GF for Newtown, and mate, it was unbelievable.
Oh,
yeah,
swear.
so I went from
and
under
they just
18
won. They just won.
bang. Like we played Parramatta in the grand final, but like I was a late inclusion. We got knocked out of the 20s, and yeah, they sort of said we want you to come up and play like Premier League in the grand final. I was like, man,
so that was your debut, the grand final of New South Wales Cup. Cup.
Yeah. Oh no, I think I played like the game
semi,
before,
and then
the
the
semi,
grand
and then the grand
final.
final.
My God.
Yeah, so it was like, man, it happened really quick. I went from one whole year of SG ball, and then one game into a Premier League grand final with Newtown, and then the year after, I did a full preseason with first grade, and then made my debut in round 1.
Far out. So you've gone from like in 2 years' time, you've gone from like nothing, having a club,
like a backpacker
house, and then you're playing first grade.
First grade, yeah.
Holy moly!
It was wicked too, man. We remember like when we first got to Australia, we were like, bro, let's go to the Roosters game.
Yeah.
We were at Allianz Stadium, like watching the Roosters, just going, man, how cool is this?
Yeah.
Like, we're at the NRL game, and
yeah.
2 years later, bro, you're running out on yards.
There's some other kid watching you going like, man, how cool is that? You know?
No, it was a pretty awesome journey, man. It was like, it happened really quick. I didn't expect it to, happen that quick. But
especially not being in a system, like, like, it's just like, that's something I found when I came from soccer to rugby league. Like, it was a similar situation. I was playing soccer when I was 17, then I debuted at 19. And I didn't realize until later on in my career that like the people in the systems are usually the ones pulled through because they're known, they've got plenty of tape.
Managers pulled them in, like the recruiters pulled them in. In my case, it's like I just sort of rocked up.
100%.
No one recruited me.
Rocked up to like local league, bro.
Kid, so it was pretty cool, man.
That's incredible.
It was a cool story.
That's incredible, man. Okay, so what about when you get a call to go train with first grade?
Yeah.
How did that come? Was it expected or?
Yeah, well, I sort of knew once I was going to go to full time, and I was really excited to finish work and then really be able to fully embrace professional football life and being able to train and like I said before, try and earn everyone's respect, and I was really fit as a kid, and really trained hard and. Just to be immersed in that, oh man, I was buggered. It was old school preseason back then.
I was going to say, what was it like rocking up? What do you remember from when you first rocked up?
Look, like you said, looking around and seeing your idols, that you watched 2 years beforehand, and then you're just like, man, this is unbelievable, But it was cool too, to really soak up their knowledge and give yourself the best opportunity to excel. And it was like a sponge, man, and just wanted to. Learn off all the older guys and train as hard as I could to make the most of the opportunity. Was
there any contact sessions or anything like that, or wrestling, or that you remember going, holy moly, this is next level?
Yeah, man, it was more the fitness, It was like,
crazy,
man, just physically getting up like day in, day out.
Were you still doing like 40-hundreds and shit like that?
Yeah, man, we were doing like I think we did 70 one day at Henderson Park. It was just crazy, bro. We did like stupid, like running up these hills. And
bro, it was, for people that are listening, like nowadays everyone's monitored heart rate.
They
got GPSs on, and
there was
everything.
None of that,
it's all short and sharp. 17 minutes here, 15 minutes there. 50. When we came through, bro, it was you'd rock up for an hour and you got towed for an hour. If you were spewing up at 20 minutes, you're carrying on and you just keep going.
Yeah, well, I think it was coat hangers were a big thing in Malcolm's back then, which was just like,
Malcolm's, bro.
They were hectic. It was just like far out.
What about like your ass is hanging out 70? You're in the 50th hundredths for the day, and then on like a 17-second turnaround, and you go like, I've got 20 hundreds to go, like, and I'm dead. I'm done.
Mate, it was pretty. I remember this one time where we did all these hundreds, and then, mate, they had this big. I don't use it these days. It was like on a big zip liner, and like David Gillespie, like they called him Cement. He was the tackling coach, and they just hung this tackle bag on this big zip line, and they used to throw it at you, and you just have to hit the tackle bag. Yeah, it was bizarre, man. It was like, whoa, this
old
is
school, bro.
But I was like, man, this is like full on technology, man. This is like the next level training, man.
100%.
But looking back at it now, it's like, man, what was that, bro?
100%. Oh, absolutely. That's so fucking funny. Even like when we come through, like we had like our own, like had to write down like our weights like on a piece of paper, and we had this like shitty piece of paper through the whole, like one piece of paper for our weight session, like the whole preseason, and we'd have to did 3 times 10, 110.
I think ours was like, we had Ronnie Palmer, the Cougar, man. He used to write like 10 exercises up on the board, and he goes, "Yeah, you got to choose two upper body, 2 lower body, and just
that's it. Go, man. Fucking, that's old school, bro. Yeah, it was. Fucking old school.
It was different times, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so you go through the first session. What about the debut? Like, what's the call like? What happened?
Man, I remember I had a really good preseason where I was really fit, like up in the top, sort of group for fitness, and I thought I had a really good bit, and then it come to the first round, and they were all sitting in this room, and we had no idea. We'd come to the week of the game, and he goes, "I'm going to name the team," and he hadn't pulled anyone aside, just started reading it out, in front of everyone.
Fucking
and I was
hell.
like,
that's hectic. That's old school as too.
Old school too.
Yeah, just the team announcement.
Yeah, just like team announcement in front of everyone. And we had Chris Anderson was the coach then for the Roosters, and it was such a wicked feeling, to have that full preseason and then know, you're going to make your NRL debut was unreal.
And so, you call your family,
everything, and it was just like, man,
because they know what happened.
100%. And it was like, so quickly that you get these rewards for everything that we sacrificed as a family, and finishing school, working hard as a job. My little sister, my mum moved over and pulled them out of school, and no one really sees the full extent of what your family and the people around you have to sacrifice as well.
Leaving their family as well.
Leaving their family. Their parents were there. I had an older sister. She had 2 kids that she was in New Zealand, and take mum and dad away from her, and their 2 grandkids, which was really a really big sacrifice that they had to make, and then that was really hard growing up away from their grandkids, and
absolutely
just backlogs, man. It's
so many small things,
small things that just all add up. But it was a pretty
round one,
Rabbitohs. Straight into it, Rabbitohs.
Far out, bro.
Man, it was
what do you remember from the game?
Man, I actually had a car accident, bro, on the way to the
Fuck
game.
off. To the debut game. Head off, bro.
Man, I was like, no way.
Tell me what happened.
Man, I was just driving, and I was driving my missus at the time, had a car, and then this car just come, boom, it's clean.
Oh, just cleaned you up.
Yeah, I was like, bro, what was that? No way. And then, I had my suit and that on. I was freaking out, going, no way.
Yeah.
It wasn't, surely not. I was like, I'm so sorry, bro. I've got to go.
Yeah.
I've got
to play NRL.
I've got to play. Making my debut. I didn't say that, but I was like, man, I've got something really important to be able to go, and just write all my details and that down. But I think.
Did you get whiplash?
Yeah, it was sweet. It was only like a little one, smash, but still, I was just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to be late, and I was like, man, I just got to go. But but I was still pumped as got there, and we're playing the Rabbitohs, and. I was coming up against Nigel Vuggener, I think, at the time.
Oh, really?
He was a gun, bro, back then.
Yeah.
But I think we ended up losing 18-6, and it wasn't.
What do you remember
the best.
From
it was just unbelievable atmosphere. I was nervous as just going, this is it, man. This is the.
Do you remember your first tackle where you're like, oh, it's not as hectic as I thought it would be?
Nah, I just remember trying to just get the ball and get a touch as early as I could, and try and get as involved as I can, and man, it was pretty surreal.
Man, crash on the way to a
I know. What was the chances of that? It was just fuck.
So when you rocked up, did you tell the coach I've had a crash?
Nah, I just had to sort of after that, it was just like, man, put the barriers up. Here for a job. Just let that go. I'm here now. My heart was pumping at the time, but once I calmed down, got to the ground, and let soak it all up and
get in that bubble.
Focused on the job. Focused on the job.
So you played the rest of the year then?
Yeah. Pretty much.
14 matches.
14. So I was in and out a bit, but man, it was an awesome experience. That was the start of it all.
And then you made your Test debut against the Lions, the Great Britain Lions.
No, man, that was unreal.
Because you're 18 at this stage.
I think it was 18. Yeah.
Fuck.
And I made the junior Kiwis, and we were playing in Wellington versus the junior Kangaroos. And, the Kiwis had a game against Australia, and we had a really good game, and I played a pretty decent game as well. And I wasn't going. They had a tour over to England, and I think Luke Cavell, he got injured, and he was a winger at the time, and they sort of said, there's an opportunity there for a young kid to come up into the Kiwi squad, and
Bro, you're in the junior Kiwis. That's hectic,
mate, and too we were playing. It was like the 100th year of rugby league, so they were celebrating the centenary year.
Yep.
And I think Ali Lauatiti got injured for the All Golds as well. They were playing like this big exhibition game against like the Northern Union to like celebrate 100 years of rugby league. And Ali Lauatiti got injured, and they said, "Man, you might come away with the All Golds." And so we went to like London and like. Mate, there was like Ruben Wiki, Stacey Jones, Nigel Wagner, like Ali Lauatiti.
You're
like,
18 years old.
18 years old, just like, man, looking at all these, like Clinton Torpy was in there. He played for the Warriors, and he was like...
He was a gun.
We used to idolise him, like, coming from New Zealand, and then all of a sudden, Wayne Bennett was the coach.
Yep.
And we had Steve Price, he was like... It was like he was representing, like, Daily Messenger of the first time that New Zealand sort of went away with, went touring, and... The international game was established, and they all ended up starting on the wing for this All Golds game like that year. So
what was that like? Was it just like...
I was like, I got to travel, spend the week with my idols. And, mate, it was wicked. We lived in... we travelled around London, and we went to Buckingham Palace and like met the Queen. And
you met the Queen?
Met the Queen, mate. That was pretty cool.
What the fuck?
I know, yeah, but it was pretty cool. It was an awesome experience to spend a week in camp and be coached by Wayne Bennett. And
he's so good, Wayne Bennett.
He's good. Yeah, you would know. It was just unbelievable.
He knows how to treat different people, I reckon. And he knows that there's certain people that need to be treated this way, certain people that way, but he brings it all together in a team environment kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. Unbelievable.
What a first year, man.
That was like an exhibition game, and then after that, I joined the New Zealand Kiwi squad. They had already, they had like a 3 test series against Great Britain, and I was sort of part of the extended squad.
Yep.
Sort of travelled all around England, and was in the squad and didn't play like those 3 games. I was just training and part of the squad, but then, mate, I got handed my debut against France at the end. Fuck. So I was like, hey, this is like a dream.
That is literally a dream. Yeah,
you
can't get any better. You're playing for your country.
I know. Played for your country and got to travel with the Kiwis team at 18.
Unbelievable. Okay, so 2008 rolls around. You score 15 tries, 90 matches. It's another good year for you, and you're named in the training squad for 2008.
Yep.
So you would have been... Did you go with them on the World Cup tour?
No, I didn't. I was... Yeah, a similar thing happened. I played for New Zealand Māori for the opener of the World Cup. That was a pretty proud time. And, we played against the Indigenous there. That was an awesome game and an awesome experience. I think I've represented New Zealand Māori before, but we played the Kiwis before in a warm-up.
Oh, really? How good is that?
The team, that was pretty cool. And a similar thing happened. I think, Steve Maddai, he was on the verge of being injured as well. So I sort of got the call-up from the New Zealand Māori team, and I was on standby to see if he was going to... But I ended up missing out on that World Cup, which was...
So 2008. So we would have played you in that semi-finals in 2008.
Yeah,
we played in the semi-finals.
Yeah.
Bro, that was the most physical game I've ever played in my life.
It was unreal.
That was fucking mental. I remember you used to come out and just bashed us for the first half, and we were just like, I remember walking in.
I didn't play that game.
Didn't you?
I think I got injured.
Bro, it's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, it was. I remember watching it though. It was intense.
Like it was just like
wicked. I think at that time we used to play every Good Friday, and we used to look forward to those Good Friday matches.
Absolutely.
That's the Bronx. It was just like, bro,
that was hectic. We walked into the change room and we were like, what just happened? Like in the first half,
they were always physical, bro.
Yeah, it was so physical, just shooting out of the line,
yeah.
far out. So you 2000. So you play in the Māori against the Indigenous Dream Time team.
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
That was cool, bro. Just to connect to your roots and in that environment with all the boys, man. It's pretty awesome week. Got to travel, play the Kiwis, went back to New Zealand, and represent your heritage was pretty special.
2010. So at this stage, like, you're pretty much not a seasoned veteran, but you're definitely an NRL player. You've played nearly 60 games by this stage, I guess. And then around 20 in 2010, you scored 4 tries against the Bronx, baby. Hey?
Yeah, man. Like, I think looking back now, 2010 was just like a purple patch for me. Brian Smith came in, and I sort of went from 2009 playing winger, and Brian Smith came in as the new coach in 2010, and sort of moved a few players on, and I think he signed me up on a 4-year deal.
Oh, really?
He goes, I want you to give centre a good crack, and man, that was like when I really took my career to the next level that year. It was just sort of like everything sort of flowed that year, man. It was unreal.
4 tries at Suncorp. What was that like for you?
Mate, it was unreal, mate. It was so good. I was playing off, Piercy and Toddy Carney. And Todd Carney won the Dally M that year, but he was just, on fire, man. Like, running off him, he was just putting me in all sorts of holes. And, we played in a pretty awesome team that year as well. So it was, boys were on that night.
So did you make the grand final? Or
we made the grand final. We made it all the way. I think we finished 8th, and then, we went all the way to the grand final, which was
finished 8th.
Finished 8th, I think no one really expected us to be there, and we had a really young team at that stage, and Smithy sort of came in and took us to the next level as a group, and Toddy came in that year, and mate, it was an awesome run. Like we were speaking about momentum before, we just got a massive. I think we won 11 games straight at the back end of the year to finish 8th, and then made it to the GF and ended up losing against the Dragons.
No, red hot Dragons.
Yeah, they were unbelievable. Yeah. Wayne Bennett again.
Wayne Bennett. So 2010, you were season's top try scorer, equal to Uarte. You was runner up in the Golden Boot. Yeah, runner up in the Golden Boot. You won 4 Nations, and you won Dally M Centre of the Year. Oh, sorry, mate. We're
international,
international team centre of the year.
It was just one of those years. That was sort of like, you arrived on the scene now, and you belong and in the NRL, and you sort of, I really saw the best out of myself at that point. Bro. Yeah, it was crazy. Eh?
Did you when you're in it, you feel like you just kind of you don't actually realise what's happening, but did you realise?
I feel like looking back at it now, I was probably pretty blessed then. I was so young and just your instinct sort of just takes over when you're in that point. You don't really realize what you're doing, but you're working hard, but you just stuff just happens for you. It's like, man, you're just out there doing it.
Life's just good.
It's good. Life's good.
Everything's working.
Everything's flowing, man. You're playing. You're not injured. You just your body's still at that peak condition, and you're just like, man, flowing. It was unreal.
What a bloody year! That's crazy.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good year, Alan.
So then you basically you played for the Kiwis as centre again the next year against Australia. So you played 100 games by 2011. That's
man, it was pretty cool. I was like very fortunate. Had some bad injuries, but it really taught me how to look after my body. So I had Anthony Minicello to look up to at that point, where I'd had like 4 bouts of groin surgery.
Oh, really?
And like really bad lower back, and I really had to change. Like I think it was after that year, 2011, 2012.
Yep.
Where man, like my body just started breaking down, and
I really
had to look at the way I was eating and drinking alcohol. I think sports science started to come in, and
because it wasn't people forget
it wasn't big back then, man.
We didn't even talk about it. We didn't know what to eat.
Yeah, I know. I know, but we had it was pretty awesome because we had a good role model to look up to, and Anthony Minicello, he went through all of his back issues, and he was sort of at the top of his game. Just bringing in this new diet and all this sports science. He was sort of already one step ahead, so we had like him to learn off at that point, which I thought really helped me in the way that I prepared and looked after my body for the next whole period of my career. Man.
Oh, really?
It was so vital going through that period of having these groin and back issues, and then really learning heaps of Minicello. And
because when I was growing up, or even at the start of my career, diets were for people that were overweight or obese. A diet, that's what a diet was. You're obese and you're trying to lose weight.
Yeah.
Whereas nowadays, or even 5 years ago, every professional athlete should be on the correct diet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was huge. But he used to bring in all these weird meals in.
Oh, really?
What's that? But he was good. He really and him and Fitzgibbon,
absolutely.
They sort of really took the boys to the next level. With, thinking outside the square, and what do you eat? How do you prepare? Stretching, doing core, looking after your body, man, which is really
ahead of his time, mate, because that didn't really come in for the rest of the NRL till 2011. 2013, 14.
Yeah, him and Fitzy, they always were doing prehab and extra core sessions and yoga and stretching, all these little things that we just sort of looked at them and go, man, I really modelled those two boys, for the rest of my career. So.
Wow. I mean, it's weird how you start to realise as you get older, like people aren't in the position they are by accident.
Yeah, well, you look at them; they're at the back end trying to really maximise, and that's the sort of point that I'm at now. It's like you've got to really do the extras to maintain and sustain that level of like consistency and performance, like week in, week out. It's like you don't realise how much work goes into it until you have to do it.
You really don't, eh? Like you fucking really don't. So the next few years, basically, you stay in the New Zealand side pretty much. You stay in the New Zealand squad, and like what were the kind of? So this is like you're a vet. You become a veteran now, if you know what I mean. The next like 15, 16, 17.
Yeah. No, I was like. Man, we was pretty like Robbo. We won the premiership in 2013, and so Brian Smith moved on, and I sort of come.
2013. I always think like Roosters. I think that they won because I'm so focused on this too, back to back. I forget it was only like 5 years ago. They fucking won.
It was a pretty cool period too. We went from winning a grand final in 2010. And I think then we won the wooden spoon in 2009, and then the next year we went on to a grand final. So. The highs and lows.
So take us to 2013. Take us through that, bro.
So mate, I had the 2 years of like the groin and back issues, and then I probably went a bit off balance. I was probably drinking heaps and sort of got a bit sidetracked in my career at that point. And
mentally struggling with everything that you're dealing with.
100%. Like I just wasn't a full-time professional. I went from 2010 where everything's sort of happening, and just thought, man, I'm killing it, don't have to work. It's just happening for me, and then all of a sudden it gets taken away through injuries, and it's like a lesson that you need to learn in order to move forward. And,
absolutely. And you're still only like 23, 24.
23, 24. So but then I think Trent Robinson came in at that point, and he goes, I really need you to take the next level. He sort of want you to be a full-time professional, and really take this seriously, because I know you've had a few injuries, and you've sort of been sidetracked the last couple of years. We really need you to, step up your game, and that was sort of the start of the, Trent Robinson era, and he really helped me take that next step and next level.
So 2013, you play in the grand final, and it's revealed after that you had a broken tooth and you fractured your jaw early in the match.
That was full on, man. I knew something was up, because I think it was big Georgie Rose, like, went up to play the ball. It was like 10 minutes in, and man, I just remember getting tackled and just going bang. Oh man, what was that? And then I remember spitting out like 2 teeth.
Oh bro,
that was painful. And then my mouth just kept filling up with blood, and I was like, I'm not going. There's no way I'm going off.
Really?
I was like, man, like we've already this is your opportunity. I look around too, bro, and it was just like the most stacked team you've ever seen in your life. Hey, I was so blessed to be a part of that team. Had like Sonny Bill, Maloney, Minicello, Roger, Jennings, Pierce, like Tupou, and it was just like, mate, it was just stacked team. And I was like, man, I'm not like letting this opportunity.
Was it painful or
it was painful, man. It was so sore. Like, but it was like happened early in the first half, and I managed to get like through the first half okay. But when I went in at half time and it cooled down, I was like, and Robbo looked at me and he's like, he saw my jaw was like out here, and he's like, mate, you're all right. And I said, I'm sweet. Like, I'm good to go. And I had to like stand up and keep moving and keep talking, because like the pain sort of just kicked in. Did
they needle it or anything?
No, I didn't say anything. Like I didn't want to like. They were just like, mate, you like come off. So I didn't really say anything. I was just like, I think Robbo knew. He looked over me, he goes, "You're sweet." And
but he's a footy player. He knows.
And I just go, "Yeah, I'm sweet, man. Like I'm not going to let this opportunity slide. You work so hard your whole life to get in a GF." And
it's weird how like I feel like if he wasn't a footy player, like he knows footy. That moment between is where he knows that you're not okay in a sense, but he knows also how much it means to you to take that away from you. You know what I mean?
And I think too, I think I had to have that confidence in my ability to be able to put the pain aside and still do my job. If I didn't think that I could push past the pain barrier and not perform to a certain level, man, I wouldn't have done it. But like I knew I'd done the whole first half and got through it, and I knew once I got back in the second half, man, it was pretty sweet. The sort of pain went away, and it wasn't until after the same thing, and the celebrations were all jumping around. And I went to the dock. I went to the dock, and I was like, bro, Doc, I think I've done something, eh? And he goes, yeah, sweet. Went into his little bag and just like, gave me some painkillers.
So you waited until
after full time.
So was it as soon as the game finished that you're like, I need some
No, I was jumping around for 5 minutes and carrying on, and then I sort of went, that's when it sort of really kicked in. I realised.
Was there any moment on the field in the second half where you were just like, fuck, man, my jaw is killing me?
I didn't even think about it. I
Really?
didn't know the full extent of what had happened.
Because you didn't know it was broken.
Didn't know it was broken.
Yeah,
or anything.
okay.
Yeah, so I just thought
really painful.
My focus was just like
Footy.
so in the zone, bro. That I knew it was hurting in my mouth, but I didn't know I had a broken jaw.
So when they said you got a broken jaw, were you like, fuck? Shit.
I was like, yeah, that's pretty full on. But it's the same thing, no regrets. It's like,
absolutely.
Man, I think I scored a try.
Really?
Yeah, scored a try in the grand final in the second half. We
won
the game, so I was like, man, if you don't put yourself in that position, you don't, reap the rewards. So
it's a testament, to the rest of your, how everything happened for you. You made it, you come in a Coogee, all of that kind of stuff. If you didn't just grit through the hard stuff, which is the being out of your comfort zone, all that kind of stuff, you never would have got a shot at the Roosters. And it kind of all came to a head in the grand final. You get a broken jaw, every reason not to continue.
Yeah, 100%. And it's like same thing. It's making the most of your opportunity that you get. And for me, that's like doing what I have to do in order to, be successful and make the most of a grand final. Man, it's like those opportunities don't come around very often. So it was like, man, you gotta own it. Yeah, you gotta take it. Not going off, no way. Yeah, it was full on. Yeah, I know. It was, looking back now, it was pretty amazing thing to push through. There's, man, I know. 2 teeth, fractured jaw, got a plate put in, and
it's 2:45, so we've got to power through.
Yeah, it's
2:45, bro.
Flies, like you were saying, it goes.
Oh, fucking hell! I didn't even know.
That's all right. She can wait.
She's all good.
Yeah, she's all good.
So the grand final, broken jaw. The next year, I was ringer. Selected in the Kiwi squad again. So 2015, 2015, the whole drama off the field.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even begin to imagine.
It was just full on, man.
Fuck.
Yeah, no one ever expects anything like that to happen. It sort of, caught me a bit off guard, and it was a really, really difficult time for me and my family to, go through something like that.
It's something that, you can never put into words how tough it would be, because you're like, that's not who I am, and I'm getting portrayed this way.
Yeah, well, the hardest thing was, bro, I had to, got portrayed that way, and then I had to wait 8 months to, clear my name and go to court and, be found not guilty. And, I really struggled throughout that time. I had mental health issues, and, it sort of all came to a head when, I was really, really struggling, and, I still had to, we were still really competitive and pushing for a final spot in 2015, and I sort of had to take a step back away from footy to get, my life and my head right.
Yeah.
It was a really hard time. It's really hard, you have to still rock up to training, and you have all this external pressure, and this court case hanging over your head. But I was really lucky to have some very supportive people around me and my family, and you really find out who your really close mates are through tough times, and I really had to learn how to put my mental health first, and really shut out the noise, the external noise, bro, and really concentrate on what I was doing. I still had to rock up and play footy, and had all these things going through my head, but my main focus was playing footy, clearing my name. It was a really tough time.
So the day your name gets cleared, is it a relief? You're like,
it was a relief, but a lot of people don't know, but throughout that time too, man, I think it was, man, I opened up a business. I opened up a cafe, and I was like, mate, trying to open up a cafe
with that hanging
over my head, and I was like, man, I just didn't have the time and energy that I wanted to invest in, so it was all these other external pressures that just all come down on top of you at one time, and that was really hard.
Far out, bro. I mean, again, as just a fellow bloke, like to see someone else go through that, like, it's just...
no, it was a massive relief, you know, and I think, man, I probably didn't like recover emotionally for a good, 2 years after.
Really?
Probably not until my move to Newcastle, where
Really?
I was able to step out and
just like recover.
Yeah, like Newcastle. That's why I'm so grateful to Newcastle for the opportunity to reflect and get my career back on track. Obviously had another off-field issue with the Roosters, and I was so sad to finish my career with the club that way. But I think I wasn't really. I think that was me still
still
damaged, bro. Yeah, like I'd done heaps of therapy and all these kind of things to try and get my life back on track, and unfortunately it took for something like that to happen again.
To just
bang, man! I got taken out of that environment and got to start fresh again, and moved to Newcastle, which was good. It was on the back of being cleared and it was
fresh start.
Fresh start. Get it in a new environment and out of the Sydney bubble, and I really think that was a good period for my career. Being able to put it all together, what I'd learned, and put myself first and my football career again, and try and start paving the way for
younger generation, and your own life as well.
My own life, get my own life back on track, but start playing some good football again. And
it's you don't realise it when you're younger, but like I had a pretty toxic relationship, and it took me years to recover from that, bro. Years to recover.
Yeah, and I can honestly say that, dude. It took. I was very destructive throughout that time, because I didn't know how to deal with my emotions and the pressures of what was going on. I don't. I fully look back and go, man, I was I was rattled, but going through that now makes you a stronger person. And,
absolutely.
I wish I didn't have to go through that, but that's life, and
it's
I wouldn't be where I am today. A stronger, better human being for having gone through all that stuff.
Absolutely. Like you just like for me personally, I was hurt and angry at everyone. I was just angry.
Yeah, for sure.
And like and just like you, bro, I didn't know how to deal with it. I just thought that's who I was now. You know.
Yeah. Well, everyone sort of have these a perception of what people think of you, but and at the end of the day, like
you're still a human being.
Yeah, you're still a human being, but you only have to, the person that matters the most is what you think of yourself.
Absolutely.
And I think,
so true, man.
Getting out of that and really concentrating on me and what makes me tick as a human, and really being more grounded and a better, environment and more positive vibes was just, really helped me.
So you go to Newey, and I mean, what a great fresh start. Like you go to a beautiful place. It's a bit out of the bubble. Get to focus back on what you love, is like playing footy. Like
playing
get all that bullshit out.
I think it took me a while to settle in there. But once got into a routine, and I think I've really excelled in my career, and on the field and off the field. I had a stable. Met a new girlfriend, and she's been a rock for me this last 3 years, pretty much, and 2 or 3 years, and I had my off-field sorted, had my mental health sorted, and I was playing good footy at the nights, and I think that's probably the best period where you just go, all that other stuff, you can just take all the lessons and put it into play in a new environment, a new opportunity to excel.
Absolutely. And you can in situations where it can turn left or right instead of going the right way, you can go back to the lessons you've learned. And be this is when I know when I'm going to do something stupid.
Mate, you learn in different situations, and it's taken me a long time to get to this point of making sure that I'm staying out of trouble, or really focused on
what you need
and the
to
best
do.
everything, and the complete package.
So true, man. I guess we also forget, man, we're young men in high pressure situations. So definitely. Most men don't mature until they're fucking 30 years old anyway. That's without all the crazy shit that's going on. So the 2 years, and so by the end of it, you were just saying earlier that you got to, it was like a bit of a special moment for you. You got to hand over your jersey, or present a jersey, to a young Kiwi lad on the wing for the Newcastle Knights, and it kind of made you think for the full circle kind of thing,
Yeah, full circle was, he had to move over from New Zealand, and
what's his name? Sorry,
Stafford Toa. He's going to be a wicked young kid, and he's sort of the next generation. The club's invested in for, and he's going to be a gun. He's unbelievable. It was a really special occasion for me to be able to hand over the jersey that I played in for 2.5 years to another kid from New Zealand. you know, who's had to work really hard and sacrifice and you know, move out of his environment and, you know, overcome a few challenges in order to get to where he is. And I just thought, man, I felt very, you know, very blessed to be in that opportunity, like in that position to, you know, give back to him, especially, you know, a young kid from New Zealand. So it was
and
pretty cool.
You know what he's feeling, you know?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That's you 15 years ago.
15 years ago, you know, all the sacrifices that he's had to make, and it's the beginning of, you know, his journey and his next you know, NRL career, which I'm sure will be a long one.
So 277 NRL games?
Yeah, 77. Yeah, 277.
No, 279.
Oh, 79.
279, bro. I fucking shortchanged you. I've shortchanged you 2 games. Does that feel weird?
Oh, it's
279 NRL games.
It's crazy, bro.
You're in some small percentage. Like, there wouldn't be, you know, like, I think the average is like 40. And then, like, to go over 150, you're in like the top 10% or some shit like that.
Mate, it's so, very proud to, you know, have such a long career. And like you said, cherished every one of those. And, you know, all good things have to come to an end. And like, I'm very thankful for, you know, I wouldn't change a thing. I've had many good times, many good memories, and met so many beautiful people along the way, you know, good coaches that have helped, you know, shape and transform me as a person and a player. So it's been a massive journey, bro. And
279.
Yeah, 279.
Right? That's something to be so proud of, bro.
Yeah,
That's
so huge.
Fucking so huge, man.
I was really stoked to play one, but, you know, 279, man, it's like beyond your wildest dreams.
Oh, man. Just like, yeah, that's incredible. Okay, so if the next 12 months go perfect for you, what are you doing?
Man, I'll be in UK with my missus, probably hopefully playing in the semi-finals with Hull. Hull KR, yeah, that'd be cool, man. It's I'm really excited about, you know, the next period of my career. I'm you know, off to the Super League, and, you know, there's similar parallels to, you know, Newcastle, where they finished on the table this year. They finished, you know, in the bottom half, and you know, they've got a new coach as well, and you know, they're really looking to bring the organisation into a successful one, and really push, you know, for the higher, you know, the top end of the Super League. So, you know, I'm really excited to go over there and help, you know, the younger boys there, and you know, be part of the club moving forward.
And ask all the boys, his favourite rapper of all time.
Favourite rapper, Tupac, man. I loved it. Yeah, I used to love Tupac and Dr. Dre, like the 2001 Chronic. I used to love that CD.
So
when I was younger.
Like Tupac, you can listen to now, and his song's still mad.
It was like, he's another dude before his time, you know. It's just like, you know, his lyrics and
talking about what he talked about.
Yeah, he's good.
He's it. Yeah.
What about you?
Mine's Eminem, but
Eminem?
Eminem. I'm fucking white boy, so obviously. No, Eminem is, but Tupac was the first CD. Tupac Greatest Hits was the first CD I ever bought when I was in grade 6.
You knew all the words, hey? It's like a teenager. You knew all the words to
Thought
Eminem
I was a gangster, bro.
Like,
Thought I was a gangster, bro. Fuck, it was a loser from the Gold Coast. There's no gangster in the Gold Coast. It's the Gold Coast, man. No, I grew up in hip hop. I love hip hop. Favorite movie of all time?
Favorite movie? That's a hard one, man. I like Shawshank Redemption's pretty good, He was just like chipping away for years and years. That's unbelievable. I love
that was your career.
Yeah, that was me. Just keep chipping away. Son.
And then NRL just there,
Just keep going. Just keep pushing through.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on, brother. I appreciate it, man.
Thanks for having me, bro.
What an incredible career, man. What an incredible career.
Cheers,
we debuted in the same year, so I get that sense of, like, you know, when you come around at the same time, you know the other boys that are coming through at the same time.
Sure.
Obviously, I didn't play fucking 279 NRL games, but man, congratulations on the crazy career.
Cheers, brother.
Good luck over in the Super League.
Cheers, bro.
Boom.